So we were just asked about the title of the show, Ping Pong.
We were just doing lots of different things. Just the idea of a ping pong table was just one thing I was thinking about, and just because it's an interaction like a lot of the other stuff. But then Paraj said, well, why don't we call the show Ping Pong? Because actually, all this thing is kind of a ping pong, a back and forth with Paraj and me.
And I think what was liberating about this show is because I am so structured and I work within severe limits with my own work. So to just kind of go crazy and use that part of my personality, like the stuff that's lying around my house that I make, kind of, this is more like those sorts of
Yeah, but your work up there is very structured as well. So I mean, in positive.
I think it's at my sensibility, but it's not, what you're used to. Yeah.
Wasn't really the initial idea. Once it took on that kind of symbolic meaning for the show, then other things started to happen with ping pongs, because we had a piñata idea, but then later we incorporated the ping pong paddles or different paintings. There's a circle which could reference a ping pong ball.
Right, and it became kind of fun because it was like, whoa, how can I incorporate a ping pong ball into all these things? And so then like these wacko things were happening, like Richard said, just even referencing white circles and bringing that into the imagery, or
God knows what's going to happen on the final day when the piñata is broken by the ping pong paddles. What will come out of there?
Oh, we already know, but we're not telling. I was more of the structured person within all this, but I also was like, there was so much freedom to be really quirky, and there was just an expansion of imagination, that where we could just incorporate like fake mustaches and seahorses and birthday candles, right?
I mean, one thing that interests me, just how different these are, though. On the one hand, it's this collaboration between Praj and me, but then the way that came out is so different. Like, those literally are creations by both of us. Like an artwork that she made, my interaction with that, then her interaction with that. So they're literally created by both of us. On the other hand, other stuff like these, they're not created by both of us. Each one of us did one or the other, but then the way they're put together is an interaction. And you go to the mishmash, with ladders and everything. Again, they're our individual work, but then they come together in this collaboration. And then out of that, it's not even how they affect each other so much as the new whole that was created. Like, that has its own total gestalt that's more than either of us.
And I think also as a show in totality, the color, like elements of like Richard's green paintbrush and like the way that the greens and some of the colors and the forms interact within other walls and other spaces in the gallery is another thing that kind of ties it together without being like a ping pong ball or a birthday candle or a mustache too. So and I think there's a thing about combining sensibilities. Like I'm thinking about Richard's Bugs Bunny that's hanging from the tree, the painting, right? Because Richard's like, I'm gonna hang this painting from the tree, and my first reaction is, but a bird's gonna something on it, right? And Richard doesn't care, right? And I'm like, it might rain, and Richard doesn't care. And so the things we are concerned about, like those types of concerns are so, we're so different, because a lot of those things steer how I make work and store work and put it up, right? And so we're like opposites. And I think for the pieces where there was a little bit of each of us in them. And there's like a weird story behind every of them. So I kind of approached things as like taking one of Richard's final works, so like one of Richard's paintings, or basically like all of his like finished paintings, right? And then doing things to those, right? Whereas like I think the things that I gave Richard were more just like not necessarily my finished works, but things that I've done or things that I've made. So like, pictures that I've taken, or Richard had some soup at my house and then my spoons disappeared.
I'm looking at the third one there. It has the, I just want to point out that my dedication to art, I actually gave my only tie. My only tie is on that wall.
Well, I only have one spoon left.
I know.